Top of it. Top of it. This video here is he's saying that Kevin Samuels must be protected at all costs, and I got to point out the hypocrisy in mediocre tutorial and reviews, MTR. Now, I'm going to review the last part of this section, and I'm going to be including some historical pictures of black men and things of that nature. And I'm just going to break down this. I'm going to incorporate facts because, to me, you know what I mean. He did a review with Shazara Ali and three other panelists, and she dealt with some things and said some things in that video which explains some of the happening that's going on today. But since it wasn't geared towards a certain group of people, and he wanted to ignore the historical context of what she was saying, he just dismissed it. But just come on with it. Let me see what we got.
The video, I had to try to consolidate a lot of what has been going on with this talk of out of order, black women being out of order, the subsequent shows that Kevin Samuel has done, as well as interject a lot of information that he has taken and put on a pedestal, and things that he's talked about on the Joe Budden's podcast and everything, just so you can kind of see it from my perspective. I've said it before, Kevin Samuels has to be and should be protected at all costs.
Brother, if you ain't willing to give your life for Kevin, you probably need to be being quiet, bro. You ain't gonna give your life for that man. He ain't gonna give his life for you. Protected at all costs. What you think it may cost? Because you talk about protect, but enough of that. You ain't gonna protect. I'm finna come after you and him in this video, and you ain't gonna kick my ass. Straight the fuck up. You try to come, I'm gonna put the 4-5 to your head and make you lose your mind. Period. But come on, proceed, bro.
I think what he's doing is immensely important for the culture. I think it's immensely important. He has this uncanny ability to take very complex topics and toss it up in the air and demonstrate with numbers, data, facts, and statistics what is actually going on outside of the propaganda, outside of the contrived media and dialogues that we've heard for countless decades, right? I think what this entire space has done, and it's put men at a forefront, it's put men's issues, men's thoughts, what we want, and it's placed it up there and said, this is what we actually think. So I think that it's so important to continue to push content like this because it challenges the bullshit that both of us, both sexes, have heard for decades. 4 decades. One thing that he said there that I thought was very important, it's when he talked about the therapist or the psychiatrist or the health professional, talked about that she just couldn't say it because it went against the sister code and that it needs to be deleted. That line of the code needs to be deleted out of the matrix. One of the largest talking points that this side has, YouTube has, is speaking about the lack of accountability from the other side. Okay?
This accountability thing. This video right here, ladies, YouTubers, if you like this guy, you like Kevin Samuels, I'm a dead out when the next time they missing accountability, show them this video Show him this video. And again, I ain't gonna do too much talking. Well, I'm gonna do a lot of talking. I'm gonna do a lot of pointing out, because this video here is important. Because it's a lot of gum bumping. But proceed. Accountability. I believe in it. Let's go.
The fact that the other side has all of these demands of us, but doesn't look realistically at their attitudes and their behaviors that they are exhibiting as they are requesting the world from us. One of the topics that we've gone over the past couple of months.
Notice what he's saying. Want the world from the, come on.
Months was this whole idea around black men not protecting black women.
Bro, how dare you say black woman or black man out your mouth, bro? How dare you say that? But come on.
The issue that I have with that at a general level is generally black men are protecting black women.
Notice what he's saying. But come on, we finna dispel all this stuff you talking about, protecting and stuff like that, and I don't need no man and what black we finna this video here gonna explain all that. And the hypocrisy in MTR. Come on with it.
But we use these unique cases that come up from time to time.
Time to time. Come on.
That maybe it didn't happen. But in general, it happens. But the lack of the accountability falls in at that we're just going to all sit here and act like the bad behavior and the bad attitudes that we see, the masculine attitudes that we see,
masculine attitudes
is worthy of protection. That's why you have so many dudes that are just like, listen, I see what's going on from a society perspective. I see what's going on. And I just don't want nothing to do with it. I'm going to play this one out for the time being. Because I don't want to sacrifice my peace and my happiness, especially when there's so many other things that men can do nowadays that we have access to in order to feel a sense of happiness and or joy and or fulfillment within our lives.
Like what?
Outside of dealing with the modern woman.
Okay.
Come
on with it.
So we got to continue on putting on these conversations.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, keep on putting on these clinics.
Yes,
you
sir.
got my support over here, brother. This is absolutely incredible work, and I really and truly believe our sons and our grandsons, our granddaughters are going to be looking back at the...
Whoa. Enough talking. Now, here's the part why you watch the video. Notice he said protection. Notice he said submission. Check this clip out right here. All right. This is a civil rights sit-in. And when you talk about accountability, attitude and this, that, and other, this is symbolic of what in this submission thing. So this sit-in, this is a civil rights sit-in. College students were going to all white restaurants and wanted to be serviced by white people. Now, so you don't want your own. You don't want to go to and build your own man who want this submission out this woman. You don't want to go build your own, so you depending on white people to feed you. Now, you want to stick your chest out? Let's proceed with the proceedings.
I mean, there was always the uncertainty of what would happen.
Fair use.
And you just stay there and you keep your eyes on the prize.
And what was the prize? Come on. Look at that. All that disrespect you taking. Notice something. Those men are getting the brakes beat off of them. Those and the women I watch, those men getting the brakes beat off of them. You can't unsee this. This actually happened all over the South, especially. So, with this being said, this is look. They're not touching this black woman. It's the black man that's getting humiliated. It's the black man who goes out there and makes sure the white man has a smile. Well, I don't say the white man. His boss has a smile on his face. His boss treat him just like these patrons are treating this man in this video. And what does the man do? Nothing. Nothing. You don't fight back. You went to the fight's coming. Matter of fact, if you were smart, you wouldn't even show up to the establishment. If you love your people, right? And if you love this black woman like you claim you do it, you would a group of black business owners would have opened. You didn't go to the black owned diner. You didn't and patronize them. You wanted to go to the white owned diner because you secretly want to be white. Let's put that out there. Now, okay, well, we can go to McDonald's now. We can go. That's fine. But when Cynthia G says black man ain't built nothing, well, this video right here is the very reason why black men should have galvanized and unified to build their own for our families, just like white people did with theirs. This black woman right here, she sees that she ain't even touched. They didn't bother her. Those men respect the woman. Though they didn't respect her, they just knew, right? Oh well, we whooped them. We know we can beat the brakes off the black woman. Your woman sees this. Now, how in good conscience you go out there and get your you get the brakes beat off you by another man and come home and stick your chest out? How you do that? This actually happened. And when you say the propaganda, MTR, this is not propaganda. This actually happened. And the thing is, this woman in this video probably told her daughter what she saw. She getting the brakes beat off her and she ain't even protected. She ain't protected. Black man historically, this has been happening to the black man historically in this country, and the black man instead of standing up and fighting back, he wait for them to feel good about beating the brakes off of them so they'll stop. And you want your woman to submit to you, and you wonder why they had all this victory all to you. Here's why. This ain't even. I don't. You analytic male men's right activists, y'all strictly off analytics. This actually happened. You can't unsee this. Proceed with the video, man. Look how scared she was. Look how scared she was. And you go to jail for trespassing. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? Come on with it.
You feel the pain, but you don't become bitter. You don't become hostile. And you sort of lose yourself. You forget about your own circumstances. And you become involved in the circumstances of others.
Yeah.
But we were committed to the philosophy and to the discipline of nonviolence.
Now, so much for that. This is why. So when they say, when they say, you know, submit to us, come home pounding their chest, you show them this video. You show MTR, ask MTR to explain this video. Ask Kevin Samuels to explain this video. This actually happened. We ain't talking about no numbers that could be made up. This happened. Now, after this right here, I'm gonna take you to a video that MTR reviewed, and Shazara Ali was talking about what she talks about. And I'm going to point out his face in these videos.
His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us.
Look at him. He don't even want to recognize their truth. So since he don't want to recognize the truth, come on with it.
As the best man on earth, everybody want him. He looked better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too.
Yes, they have. MTR don't even want to recognize that fact. He don't even want to recognize that fact. And the fact is, black men get the idea of manhood from white men. I'm going to say it again. One more time for the March of Dimes. Black men get the idea of manhood from white men. Proceed.
But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow.
Bars. Listen. There's an unfathomable amount of little boys being raised to be the man that the mother hated.
Sir, if you're not gonna deal with black men being tricked by the enemy, if you're not gonna deal with that, you will. But I get it. You look how you light skinned it, so your grandparents are responsible for tricking your other grandparents. But proceed, man. Proceed.
Growing up, it's too many.
Have an issue or make any issue in the relationship a priority, we jump right on it. We run around that talking about our man gotta have good credit. Give me a break. You know, it's just all nonsense, and they use those things to keep us apart, not to put us together.
And we fall for it. we fall for it as sisters and hook, line, and sinker, and then we wonder why we're alone and miserable. So I want to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question, just getting right into it, because in your book, you tell sisters, look, you're not equal to your husband. And you go into it very well, and you explain that submission really is a key to the happiness, a woman being satisfied. Because I heard what you just said right now. You said a woman is happy to please her man. She should be, at least. Right. So talk to us about the whole battle of the sexes and women fighting for that power and that control in relationships. What can sisters do to try to really enjoy being submissive? What can they do, Doctor?
Well, submissive just really means agreement. I say that all the time.
Just say yes.
It just means that if he gives a direction or comes up with an idea, then we need to think it over and try to get with it, if it makes any sense. And as far as us thinking we're better than him, it ain't nobody better than the black man on the earth. He is the first man that God designed. And everybody else came after him. Every nationality, even us. And so we have...
Wait, bruh. How you... she just said there's no other man on the planet, but nobody better than the black man. He couldn't say, oh man, he couldn't say nothing. Come on, bro. You may not be black, bro. I mean, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm thinking you might not be black. So, come on with it.
The man who is supreme over all of the other men on the earth. Now, what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that. Because we're disappointed. You know, I've been talking with the brothers about trying to get in touch with or make peace with their fathers. Because many of our people who didn't have a father, we have that father hunger. And almost everything we know about our father was told to us by our mother, who was mad at him about their relationship. It has nothing to do with us being their child and them being our father. Fatherhood is not based on whether or not he can pay child support or not. We don't care as children. You can't find a child that care whether the father giving them anything. They want their daddy. And we have deprived them of that based on some rules that white people set up.
Go ahead.
And we will tell people he don't do nothing for him, so I don't let him see him.
Go ahead.
And that is
Come on with us. He's teaching that truth now. Come on with it.
That's not hurting the man as much as it's hurting our own child.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let me pause real quick. Couple quick things. When she said submission just means agreeableness, and yeah, that it's just as simple and easy as that. And the reason why I wanted to hear that answer is because,
bruh, you ain't gonna deal. Well, you are gonna deal with the father thing, but what about the white man thing? But hold on, let me. I'm gonna skip through some of this stuff, man. Let me get through. Hold on. She makes a valid point right here, but come on, teach that truth, sweetie.
The money. And so, we have let them use that. That still is not more important than trying to have that relationship with him. And yes, we should be trying to rebuild him. Many of them, they have just given up. You should hear the letters they write to me. And many of them will, they'll tell me, they'll say, thank you. You finally explained some things to me my own mother wouldn't tell me. Because when people say I'm giving up secrets, I'm not giving up secrets. I'm just leveling the playing field.
Bars. Listen, here's
I don't want to hear your mouth, bro. If you ain't gonna deal with this previous video about this white man stomping the black man upside his head and the black man waving him to feel guilty to stop, I don't want to hear what you got to say, bro. Come on with this. Teach this truth, son.
Okay. Whereby, and until we can have these dialogues
to the family and bless us with, you said a lot of them have given up, and I want to talk to you about this movement. And I talked to you a little bit about it before when we had that interview last year.
Now, and I'm gonna get my ending dialogue.
Now the brothers are giving up, and they're calling it a movement, like men going on their own way. The red pill. Men are calling it the manosphere. They're saying, forget about it. We're done with the black woman. We're going to tell her to go her way. Smiling. Have you heard about this movement?
You know what's hilarious is I asked this question on my last video, and I said, I wonder what she thinks about this whole, right, the MGTO, the manosphere, the red. I really want to. So I'm like, come on, let's go.
I have heard it a lot, but you have to remember they're dealing with decades of resistance and hostility and having their money taken and not being able to have a proper meal to even eat. Most of our men, and I'm around different grocery stores, you know, some of those stores where they sell a plated dinner or a little carton of food they're given. And if any sister is looking for a man, she need to go to the grocery store around 5 or 6 o'clock. Because they all in line.
Hungry.
They all lined up trying to get a plate of food for $10.
Wow. That's right. That's
and
right.
I tell the sisters, if you start cooking, he'll come by your house.
Go ahead.
He'll show up.
Word. Shit, I'm always hungry.
There a while. Okay? Just
I
food.
love her.
Food is what's
Resistance and rejection. Okay.
sustains life. We have always been the people who have to nurture the entire family with food.
Facts.
Our men are in bad health because they're eating wrong. They're eating all of that salt. They're eating pork. They're eating all of that grease. They're doing everything because they're buying food from the enemy.
Look at him roll his eyes when she said that. You don't like that. Now, if you want to have an honest conversation, brother, if you want to have an honest conversation, why don't you deal with that truth, brother? I get it. Well, I don't get it. Deal with that truth right there. Our women are seeing that. You talking about the conversation. What your eyeballs telling you? Are you going to address that? Come on with it, man.
See? When we could fix a brother something to eat, as it stands now, a man can't even ask a woman.
The Almighty, the Most High, Allah, you took it all the way back.
That I made to lay down with him and reproduce and make this child. Their children to honor that picture panel. And they teach their children to honor that picture. Community even survive on.
Would you say that things are worse than they've ever been as far as black women and black men, but especially, I gotta say it, our sisters are always thinking about, I gotta have this and to have millions of dollars.
Well,
to qualify
this is the problem. This is another problem we have. We don't have nothing to do. And women that don't have nothing to do.
Go ahead.
You don't look like anything. Can you, for a minute, talk to the brothers about that?
Well, no, because we were talking about the fake stuff.
No, okay? Bro.
Like when I say a scale of 1 to 10.
No. So the word of today is accountability. In order for there to be accountability, there has to be responsibility. There is no accountability without responsibility. If you want to hold black women accountable, then you have to be responsible. I used the example of the note. What is it? The note. 8 or 9 or something like that. No, Note 9 or something like that. When they had the stolen batteries. Now, the engineers were accountable to Samsung, but Samsung is ultimately responsible for the phone. Samsung took responsibility for those faulty phones. And so it appears to me that this space, like a lot of black men have done in history, this space wants to lead the responsibility on the black community slowly on the hips and the shoulders of black women. As if you had no part with the state of black people today. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why they act like this towards us. Well, I just showed you. I just showed you. You can beat over your head all day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna end it with this. Again, I'm stressing fair use. Fair use. This is an interesting conversation. Modern woman and things of that nature. This between James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni, and let's go with it.
I think that the only thing that's changed in the last, since Martin Luther King, since 54, I think the only thing that's really changed is the black woman. And what she said.
I don't think she's changed. I think she's become more visible.
I think she's changed. Because there was a time, let's say my mother, my aunts and things like that, they would say, okay, if that's the way you establish your manhood, I'm going to go for it. And my generation says, hey, no good.
Okay.
You must establish a new base.
I'll agree with that.
And we are, as a group, demanding that a new base be established.
Yeah, but be careful as a woman what you demand of a man.
I demand that he be a man.
Yeah, but you can't
because
say,
the provision part.
Yeah, but you can't say you demand it. You have to suggest it.
Well, that's your ego that says that. No, I demand it. Now you deal with that.
All right. Okay.
I'll
even go with that.
I demand that you be a man, and I don't think that that's asking too much. Because if I wanted a provision, I would get a camper. You know what I mean? I would get a camper that provides things. You know what I mean? You get an army surplus kit that provides things. I need a man. And black men have always been offered to provisions. People are either going to eat or starve to death.
Go ahead.
The men of the people were starving, and they were still the men. Had to be that way.
Go ahead.
Through that horrendous kind of war, but it had to be that way because sometimes you are not able to feed your family.
Go ahead.
Sometimes you are not able to clothe your family. Do you then also deprive them of your manhood and of the input that a man has?
Go ahead.
Who teaches my son how to pee?
Yeah, but
you see?
Yeah, but you're talking. I agree with you. I see that very well. But it's one thing to be in a situation where you see that you have. Where you see a future, however bloody, and to be in a situation where you see no future at all.
But you are. It is incumbent.
It's right. If I know,
it is incumbent that we see a future.
If I know what I'm demanding of you, in some sense, makes sense. If I know the fact the kid is not eating today or tonight or tomorrow, in some way, it makes sense. Yeah, then I can be there. But if it doesn't make any sense, and if I don't see anything coming out of it at all.
On. Now here is a crux of the so-called masculine behavior of black women towards black men. This is an iconic exchange right here. Come on with it.
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
Go ahead.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. But Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me, because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat him the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell because I love you. I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much for the black woman to ask of the black man? For 10 years, so that we can get a child on his mother smiled at mother. He talked to me about school today. Who cares that you can read or can't read?
You see, young man, Nikki Giovanni just expressed the frustration that black women have with some black men. Now, he talking about cooperation. Well, you shouldn't be picking nobody who's not going to cooperate with you anyway. You talk about submission. Well, you can't go down there and smile at your boss, make him happy, and come and let him beat you over the head to come home and stick your chest out. No. You don't want to deal with everybody claiming white daddy, and you can't deal with that because it's part of your ancestry. So I would suggest, man, you know what I mean, kind of, leave the submission thing out of it, man. You know what I'm talking about? So if Kevin's supposed to be protected at all costs, then I would suggest to you, be a man and be willing to protect him with your life. Talk to y'all later, man.